Greece GDP, $223 billion. Portugal GDP, $249 billion. New Zealand GDP, $247 billion. Hungary GDP, $199 billion. Ukraine GDP, $160 billion. And nearly 20 more such countries, like Morocco, Slovakia, Ecuador, Angola, and the Dominican Republic, are doing well, yes, but still small compared to the personal wealth of someone like Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla and SpaceX, whose net worth is over $230 billion, larger than the entire GDP of those nations. That's not some fantasy. That's happening right now. If you're like most people, you're probably thinking, how is this possible? But what if you were told that you could learn the secrets of that wealth? What if the rules that govern money and success were completely different from what you've been taught? Have you ever wondered why some people seem to effortlessly create wealth, while others, despite their hard work, are stuck in the same paycheck-to-paycheck cycle? You've studied for years, worked tirelessly, and followed all the rules, yet, despite everything, your bank account is still empty at the end of the month. You wonder, what am I missing? What do they know that I don't? It's frustrating. Working hard, sacrificing, but not seeing the results. So, what's the difference between those who succeed and those who struggle? What if I told you money doesn't work the way you think it does? What if all those long hours you spent working aren't the real reason you're not wealthy? It's not about working harder, it's about understanding the secrets that most people will never know. The wealthy didn't get to where they are through luck, inheritance, or being born into the right family. That's a lie most people believe. And this is where I'll challenge everything you've been told about how wealth works. So, what's the truth? What are the key principles that allow some people to scale their income exponentially, while others stay stuck in mediocrity? Get ready, because the next few minutes will open your eyes to what's been holding you back, and the shocking reality of how you can break free from it. Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Finance Power with Raju. You've worked hard, maybe even earned a prestigious degree from schools like Harvard, Oxford, or Stanford, thinking this would be your ticket to the financial freedom everyone dreams of. You sacrificed, given up time, opportunities, and even your personal life to get ahead. But instead, you find yourself living paycheck to paycheck. You're constantly struggling with credit card debt, rent, loans, and bills, never quite able to get ahead. Your paycheck disappears before you even get a chance to enjoy it, leaving you frustrated and exhausted. Does that sound familiar? Maybe you're in a similar position right now. Perhaps you're just starting your journey as a student, hoping that your degree will eventually lead to wealth. Right now, though, it feels more like a never-ending loop of sacrifices. No dinners out, no splurges on anything, always on a tight budget, and always wondering, when will I get my break? The dream of financial freedom feels so distant, doesn't it? And then there's that lingering thought, will it ever happen? Now let's talk about the billionaires, people like Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates. They built fortunes that seem to defy reality. These names are household names, and their wealth is unimaginable. We see their faces, hear their names, and even feel like they're somehow beyond reach. It's easy to assume they must have been lucky, born into the right family, had access to resources that we'll never have, or somehow got a head start in life. But here's the hard truth you might not want to hear. Luck isn't the reason for their success. Here's the real kicker. What if everything you've been told about wealth is wrong? What if I told you that you could follow a very specific, proven formula to generate wealth, regardless of your background or where you start? Curious? Let's dig into it. The big lie: money doesn't work the way you think it does. Most of us have been led to believe that money is earned through hard work. Get a good job, put in your hours, save, and eventually you'll get rich. And yet, that's not how it works for the richest people in the world. Think about this for a moment. If you were to work for a salary, how long would it take you to become a millionaire? Imagine you're earning $40,000 per year. If you saved every single dollar, it would still take you 25 years to accumulate $1 million. And that's before factoring in inflation, which erodes your money over time. You could work for decades and still only barely break that mark. That dream of being financially free could feel so far out of reach, couldn't it? But here's the real problem. You've been taught the wrong way. Let me say this clearly. Working for a salary will never make you rich. I know this may sound like a punch to the gut, but stay with me. This is the conflict that the wealthiest people have figured out how to break free from. They realize that the path to wealth isn't through working more hours or earning a bigger paycheck. It's about understanding how money really works and using that knowledge to your advantage. The truth is, money follows value, not hours worked. What the wealthiest people know that you see, the richest people on earth, the ones who didn't just get lucky, created value. And they solved problems that people were willing to pay for. Think about the biggest names in business: Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg. These people didn't just get lucky. They created something that changed the world. They didn't just create a product or service. They solved huge problems. Take Uber, for instance. They didn't just create a new way for people to get from point A to point B. They solved the problem of unreliable, expensive taxis. Amazon didn't just create an online store. They solved the problem of not being able to shop from home. Spotify didn't just create a music app. They solved the problem of pirated music by offering a legal, affordable way to access music. So, here's the question. What problem do you see in your life, or in the lives of others, that hasn't been solved yet? Can you identify an inconvenience that people are frustrated with, that no one has created a solution for? That's where your opportunity lies. Money follows value. The more value you can create, the more money you will make. It's not about working harder, it's about working smarter and finding creative ways to add value to people's lives. The hidden secret of wealth, scalability. Now, creating value is step one. But there's another, even more important factor: scalability. This is what separates the people who make a good living from those who build exponential wealth. Take the example of a restaurant. If you opened one restaurant, it would take constant work, effort, and time to manage it. You'd have to be there every day, leading, cooking, cleaning, serving customers, and making sure everything is running smoothly. But what if you could scale that model? What if you could franchise it? Suddenly, you could have thousands of restaurants, each generating revenue without you being involved in each one. That's exactly what companies like McDonald's did. They didn't stop at one location. They scaled, reaching thousands of locations, generating massive revenue. That's exponential growth. This is the core principle behind building real wealth. Create a product or service that can scale beyond your personal time and effort. Whether it's through technology, automation, or even outsourcing, scalability is the key to wealth. Mastering delegation and time management. So, now you've created a valuable solution and you've figured out how to scale it. But here's where many people get stuck. They try to do it all themselves. The richest people in the world didn't get to where they are by doing everything themselves. They understood that time is their most precious resource, and delegating tasks to others is the only way to scale. You cannot do everything. Think about it this way. Elon Musk has multiple companies: Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, and the Boring Company. Do you honestly think he's managing every single detail of these companies? Of course not. He's a visionary, but he delegates. He has teams of experts who handle the day-to-day operations, while he focuses on strategic growth. You too? Need to think about how you can delegate tasks in your own life, especially if you're starting to build a business or an investment portfolio. Here's the truth. You can't scale if you're trying to micromanage every detail. Once you reach a certain point, you need to hire the right people, build a strong team, and trust others to do what they're best at. That's the key to success in the long-run. Delegation. Give your time back and use it wisely. Instead of being stuck in the minutiae of day-to-day tasks, free yourself up to think about the bigger picture. How can you continue to grow your wealth? How can you multiply what you've already built? Why aren't you rich yet? Okay, so we've broken down the formula for wealth, but here's the critical question. Why aren't you already there? If creating value, scaling, and delegating are the keys to wealth, what's the real reason most people are still stuck in their current situation? Why are they still working hard for a salary, unable to break free from the paycheck? That's the misconception that holds most people back. They assume that wealth is some rarefied thing that's just for a lucky few, or that it's too complicated to ever achieve. But that's a lie. It's a myth designed to keep you stuck. Here's the undeniable truth. Wealth is available to anyone who is willing to learn and apply proven principles. It's about changing your mindset, focusing on value creation, learning to scale, and knowing how to delegate. And the best part is that this isn't reserved for the super smart or privileged few. It's for anyone who is willing to get serious about their financial future. So, what's holding you back? Fear of failure? Lack of time? Not knowing where to start? Whatever the reason, it's important to recognize that staying stuck is your choice. What are you missing? Let me ask you something. Do you know what the most successful people in the world are doing that you're not? What are they doing differently that allows them to build empires, scale businesses, and achieve wealth while you're still stuck in the grind? Maybe they have better access to resources. Maybe they know something you don't. But what if they don't? What if the difference is simply that they understood the true nature of money and success and applied it? We know that the billionaires and successful entrepreneurs we admire didn't just get lucky. But how did they get their start? How did they make their first million? And more importantly, how can you do the same thing? This gap, this mystery, is what creates the hunger for knowledge and the drive to learn and implement. The good news is it's not too late. You can still catch up. You can start learning and applying the strategies that have already helped so many people create extraordinary wealth. But the only way to do that is to stop thinking like a salary worker. Start thinking like an entrepreneur, a problem solver, someone who creates value and scales that value into something exponential. What's next for you? Now that you understand how the richest people on earth got to where they are, it's time to ask yourself, what's next for you? You've learned that wealth isn't about working harder. It's about working smarter, creating value, scaling that value, and delegating tasks. But there's still one important thing left: commitment. No more hesitation. No more waiting for the right moment. The reality is that the perfect moment will never come. The key is to start now. Start with small steps. Begin identifying problems you can solve. Then find ways to scale your solutions. Learn how to delegate. Take action. And remember, every successful entrepreneur started exactly where you are now, with no more than an idea and a commitment to make it happen. What do you really understand about money? Is it something we work for? Is it inherited? Is it really the root of all problems? Or is everything we've been taught an illusion? They say money doesn't grow on trees. They say you have to struggle to earn. They say be happy with what you have. But what if everything you believe about money is wrong? So, let me ask you, are you ready to change your financial future? The choice is yours. The steps are clear. If you want to learn exactly how to take these strategies and apply them to your life, I invite you to join me in the next video or training session, where we will break down the exact steps successful entrepreneurs took to make their first million. You don't want to miss it. Your future self will thank you. Imagine your life 5, 10, or 20 years from now. You follow the path we discussed, creating value, scaling, delegating, and most importantly, believing in yourself. How would you feel when you finally achieved financial freedom? When you no longer have to worry about money, when you're able to live life on your terms, travel the world, spend more time with loved ones, and pursue your passions. That feeling of freedom of choice, of knowing that you built something meaningful, that's the real reward. And that, my friend, is what the richest people in the world have achieved. It's your turn. Now, make it happen. It's time to stop thinking small and start thinking big. The path to wealth isn't about working harder. It's about working smarter, creating real value, scaling that value, and knowing when to delegate. True financial freedom comes when you stop exchanging your time for money and start leveraging the principles that have empowered some of the richest people in the world to achieve their fortunes. By shifting your mindset and embracing these proven strategies, you can unlock new opportunities, multiply your wealth, and gain the freedom to live life on your own terms. But most importantly, you'll stop waiting for the perfect moment and start acting now. Because the real payoff comes from taking the first step today. This isn't a pipe dream. It's a real actionable plan that anyone can follow. The road to wealth isn't reserved for the lucky few. It's for those who are willing to apply these principles consistently and strategically. Are you ready to change your financial future? Start by committing to take action today. Don't wait for the right moment. The truth is, the right moment is now. Click the link below to access the full training or course where we'll break down exactly how the world's most successful entrepreneurs made their first million, and how you can apply the same principles to achieve your financial freedom. Join us in this journey and learn how to create the life you deserve. Stay tuned for our next video, where we'll dive deeper into advanced wealth-building strategies and show you the exact steps that can help you multiply your success exponentially. Don't miss it.